There is an impressive new AI tool out there which can generate amazing graphics with text. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to use this tool for print on demand. So the tool in question today is DALL E3, which has had a lot of hype around it the past week, and for good reason, because the results that this tool gets are really, really good, and it's very accurate with text. Now, there's a couple of ways to use DALL E3. One was shown by Juna or Detour Shirts in one of his recent videos. He actually compared it to ideogram, and the only problem with that way to use DALL E3 is that you can use it commercially, or the images that you generate through Bing. However, we can also use DALL E3 with ChatGPT if you have a Plus subscription, and those images you can use commercially, and they also look a lot better in my opinion than if you're using Bing Create. Now, one quick thing I wanted to show you right here whilst we scroll past some of the example images is that it actually says on this site, as you can see right here, that as with DALL-E 2, the images you create with DALL-E 3 are yours to use, and you don't need our permission to reprint, sell, or merchandise them. So there's the proof for you. This is on OpenAI's website, that if you're using ChatGPT, when you're using DALL-E 3 through that, then you can use the images for print on demand as well. So here we are inside of ChatGPT. I've got the Plus subscription enabled, as you can see right here, so that is required. And in order to access DALL-E 3, you need to change it from GPT-3 or 3.5 to GPT-4. And now this drop down comes up where you can select DALL-E 3 Beta. And now anything that you type into the prompt bar at the bottom will actually bring you back 4 different images. And a fairly simple prompt that's been getting me some good results in a print on demand style is cute cartoon vector art of an avocado doing yoga with the text Yogalicious, like so. And then I would put on a dark background at the end, or you could do on a white background. Either one should help with removing the background later on. Usually white background is a little bit better in my opinion, a little bit easier to remove the background with, but you can try either one. So what DALL-E 3 actually does differently, or ChatGPT right here, is it uses this prompt as a base and then generates 4 separate image prompts for you, and those are going to give you images back, which is super cool, a neat process, and it's also very quick. It only takes like half a minute usually, and then you've got some really high quality images. One thing that I will say right here whilst these are generating is that Yogalicious is already quite a long word, and I have noticed DALL-E 3 is not as accurate when it comes to longer words or phrases as well. So ideogram in comparison is quite good with multiple words and phrases and putting those together, but in DALL-E 3 essentially you would want to stick to shorter words for now at least. I'm guessing it's going to get better, but the good thing in comparison to ideogram is that the graphics are super high quality and they look very, very good. That is one thing that ideogram struggles with. So what have we got right here? Some really neat looking results. Yogalicious, this one's almost correct. We've got 2 L's right here, but as you can see, the graphic looks so cool, and it's added these little stars and circles around as well. Yeah, it just looks like a t-shirt design, literally really, really nice. You could easily fix this right here by taking out one of the L's and sort of fixing the spacing. You could do that in Photoshop or Illustrator quite easily. Here we've got Yogalicious. That's actually spelled correctly. That's pretty cool. The background is not ideal for print on demand, not as easy to remove because we've got this shadow right here. But again, the graphic looks amazing in my opinion and has that perfect sort of cartoon style that we often see in print on demand. Some of these other ones, not ideal, so this is quite misspelt. And here the yoga pose also looks a bit strange, and yeah, misspelling is close, but I mean the effects on these words as well look super cool. And on the graphics we've got this sort of grainy shading effect, which that is way ahead of ideogram, and even I think this definitely has some potential to compete with Midjourney as well. So that's how to use DALL-E 3 inside of ChatGPT. Essentially is you keep typing in prompts. You can use this one right here as a base prompt for your own images, just obviously amend it for different subjects or different niches that you want to enter, and change the text section over here to have obviously a different text on your image. I will leave this prompt in the description if you want to copy it and amend it yourself. And now I'm going to show you some of my previous chats with ChatGPT to give you more prompt inspiration and examples of what you can actually do with DALL-E 3 right here, how it can help you with print on demand. And at the end of the video, I'll also show you 2 quick free tools which can help you remove the background very easily and increase the quality of these images so that you can scale them up to a massive size, like on a t-shirt, for example, because by default, these are quite small and would print very pixelated. So you don't want to miss that later part of the video. So here we've got some more examples. This is actually the same sort of prompt, just with a different animal and a different piece of text. And I think quite a few of these are also usable, especially this one looks really great. Then we've got a slightly different prompt that says flat 2D kawaii illustration of a raccoon eating ramen. And this one actually has a super nice style as well, especially I think the bottom left, if we look at the graphic, looks really, really amazing. And I could definitely see this working as a sticker, as a t-shirt design, or many other print-on-demand products. Now the word right here is not perfect. The E sort of got lost, but in all of the other examples, it actually is spelled correctly. Ramen lover down here, and we've got ramen lover spelled correctly there, and here it's slightly cut off. But yeah, the graphics all look great for this style in my opinion, so this prompt also worth testing out if you wanted to. And by the way, you could also use these prompts without the text function. So if you just want some really nice graphics for your designs and you want to add the text yourself, then you can do that too. And these definitely compete with Midjourney quite well. If we look at this prompt, it's so simple: cute flat 2D kawaii illustration featuring a unicorn eating ramen. And this one, for example, looks amazing. What else have we got? This one also super good. I could also see this working as like a girl's birthday design, for example. And I mean, all of these are pretty usable, to be fair, and also simple to remove the background from. And there's not a lot of shapes that would get in the way, maybe the shadow a little bit, but besides that, the outline of these graphics is very clear and easy to see. Then here I wanted to try something else with that sort of vintage sunset style, and the prompt is a bit longer. As you can tell, the text to add at the end, I said harvest season, which it did definitely struggle with. But if we look at the graphics themselves, I mean, this sunset graphic, you could definitely use that on a t-shirt design and just, fix the text, remove the text and add your own, as well as this one. I thought this vintage sunset looks amazing, just like a t-shirt design. You would definitely have this sort of nice texture effect on there. It almost doesn't look AI generated, this vintage sunset, and I think DALL-E 3 does a better job here than Midjourney does when it comes to these sunsets. So definitely worth trying that out, even once again if you don't add the text to these prompts. Then we've got another interesting one. This one says a fall themed digital art illustration in shape of a hat featuring leaves and branches with the words fall vibes. I think I had a similar prompt in Ideogram, did get decent results, but I think overall this looks better, especially the bottom left result right here. Fall vibes, very clear outline. This looks amazing, and I could see this working super well on a t-shirt. Obviously it's quite a broad niche, like fall, it's hard to compete in this, but I mean the overall style and aesthetic of this is super good. And if you have different topics, different phrases in this, then I'm pretty sure you could get sales with the design like this. Then I had a few prompts that didn't generate, and it told me to wait a few minutes. So if you do get this, don't worry, it is normal. Just give it some time and then it should work again. I also tried to mess around with some text only designs. So this prompt right here said vibrant typography design, which says cat daddy. And I think these results are quite interesting. I'm not necessarily sure if this would work on a t-shirt, but perhaps as a poster design, you could use some of these typography things right here. And they're not pretty accurate, like, don't get me wrong. A lot of the ones I tried didn't turn out as good. Like here we've got a handwritten typography design. The letters are not always perfect, but the styles definitely look great. And I think this has potential as well if you find the right style. This one actually looks quite cool, to be honest, with that distressed sort of texture effect. But if you find the right style, I think some of these typography only designs, if they're spelled correctly, could also be useful for print on demand. And lastly, here I tried to use one of my old Midjourney prompts and see what that comes back with. All I did was I added with the text that says be happy into this, and the results are not perfect, but definitely an interesting style. So here for the Midjourney style, I had flat vector, groovy lo-fi, and yeah, I mean, this looks pretty cool. I don't know how useful it is for print on demand necessarily, but some of these like rainbow graphics look quite interesting, and I could see this, working with other niches as well perhaps. And it actually did a great job of be happy right here. So this word looks pretty accurate. I mean, it's spelled correctly, but not just that, even the letters look very, very nice. And same for this down here. I like how it's alternated the colors as well. So yeah, definitely a lot of potential, I think, with this generator or DALL-E 3 in general. And it's just in beta, which is super impressive. So I think with time, this will definitely be able to compete with Midjourney. It's already a lot better than Ideogram, and that was sort of the cool new thing a few weeks ago. So now you might be wondering, if you have generated some of these graphics, how do you actually, remove the background, turn them into higher quality? And that's what I'm going to show you next with one of my avocado graphics. So the first tool we're going to use is this background remover by Clip Drop. I will leave a link to this in the description. You can use it for free. And all you have to do is essentially select your file from your device. Then you want to click Remove Background. This batch remover, by the way, that only works with a paid version, so don't get tricked by that. If you want to use it for free, you have to do it one image at a time. As you can see right here, it does a really good job. This is the before and this is the after. And then you can click Download in the top right corner. And the second tool we're going to use is Vectorize AI, which turns your low resolution image that you've just removed the background from into a vector file. And we can then increase the size of this vector to any other dimension that we need. And all you have to do here is drag and drop your image into this, or click on this to select it from your device. Then it's going to upload the file and process this for a few seconds to turn it into a vector image. And now on the right hand side, we've got the vectorized result. As you can see, when we zoom in very closely, on the left, we've got the pixelated PNG file. On the right, we've got the smooth vector. Now, one downside to using Vectorizer in this case is that we lose a bit of the grain and the shadowing right here, the shading, which is a shame because this was a really nice detail, I think. And if you want to avoid losing this detail, then you would have to use an image upscaler instead. Both an image upscaler and this Vectorizer will help you increase quality, but the results will look slightly different. So if you want to maintain more detail, I would recommend checking out one of my recent videos, which will be linked in the cards right now, where I compared 4 of the best free image upscalers, and those will help you with maintaining or retaining this further detail right here with the grain effect in the shadow. But if you do want to use the Vectorizer, all you have to do now is click on Download up here, copy the same settings as me, and then click Download once again. And then you can open this file in your design tool of choice and make further edits to this. So in this case, I'm using Illustrator right here, and I could ungroup these objects, then move them around individually. I could also change some of the colors or change the paths as well with the direct selection tool if needed. So definitely really handy having those two tools in sort of your bookmarks library in your browser. Background remover and the Vectorizer can save you a ton of time. If you want to get more sales with your print-on-demand business, you would massively benefit from watching this video next, where I go in depth and showing you 5 different ways to increase your sales.